Good morning. This is Amy Rafeka here at Atlanta Wills and Trust Law Group. We are Wills on Wednesday, episode 9, and we are going to talk about probate today. So part of the process in doing estate planning is making sure and ensuring that the time, the money, and the emotional investment that you put into estate planning documents work for you and your family and your financial circumstances and everything surrounding you. So you should really know what your goals are going into it. And so as part of the process with Atlanta Wills and Trust Law Group, we provide our potential new clients a goals worksheet. And I'm always really excited to work with the client when they show up with their goals worksheet because it's really just the foundations of what their estate planning document should be based on. So my goals worksheet has about 10 to 11 statements on it asking, is this a goal of yours? Is this highly important? And one of those statements is to avoid probate. And almost everyone wants to avoid probate because there are a lot of misunderstandings about what the probate process is and is not. And so that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about what is probate and should you or should you not avoid probate. So probate really is a legal process of taking your body, taking your things, and ensuring that they are taken care of and given out to others. So for example, your body, the process of probate can decide, ultimately could decide whether or not you are allowed to be cremated by your family or not. It can decide who gets your car when you pass away, who does not. Who gets to divide up your money between themselves and who does not. So it's really just taking everything that you owned, everything that belongs to you, including your body, and everything that you had legal responsibility over, including your children, and making a determination of who gets those things, who takes care of those things, and ultimately what happens to those things. So that is really just what probate is. It's the winding down of your legal ownership and responsibility over things and passing that on to someone else. And so avoiding that may not be everyone's goal because the process of transferring that ownership and responsibility over something doesn't have to be difficult. And I think that's one of the number one things that I talk to potential new clients about, that I talk to anyone about is the probate process does not have to be difficult. It does not have to be something that your family that you leave behind argues over. It does not have to be something that is incredibly expensive. It does not have to be something that brings pain and stress and anxiety to those that you leave behind. In fact, the probate process can, in fact, be a smooth and streamlined process if you have your estate plan in such a way that it's really clear what happens. It's really clear about what happens with your home. It's really clear about what happens with your money, your car, the engagement ring, the piece of furniture that's been in your family for several generations. If your estate plan, and in this particular instance, your will, is really clearly laid out and thoughtful about not just where everything goes, but who's in charge of making sure where everything goes, then the probate process can, in fact, be somewhat streamlined. It can be a lot less contentious. It can happen quickly in terms of a legal process. So avoiding that process may not be your goal in reality if you understand that the probate process can, in fact, happen smoothly. So your goal could actually be to streamline that process for someone, to take away anxiety, to take away the work, to take away the potential conflict between family members. That could be your goal in doing an estate plan. And for many, that should be your goal, is not necessarily to avoid the process, but to make that process really crystal clear, really stress-free for those that you love, and really conflict-free. Because the one thing that I have learned through life is there are 3 times during our lives when the highest conflict occurs, especially between those that we love. And those are births, marriages, and deaths. And so the probate process really deals with that latter, the deaths. And so if you can minimize the time, the anxiety in someone or in your family during that time, and I can give 1 or 2 examples. Putting one person in charge of your estate or the probate process, and these people are called either executors or personal representatives. It depends on where you are, what state you're in, and the process. That personal representative basically is the one person that's going to carry out all of your wishes and all of your clear choices in your estate plan. And they are going to need guidance from you. And the more guidance that you give them in your estate plan, then the less potential conflict there is. And a really good example is if you put all of your children as executors or personal representatives, and you have 3 children, and you don't want to choose between your children because you feel as though they would feel bad that you chose one over the other to take care of everything for you when you pass away, then you are setting up a situation where potentially they could disagree about what you wanted to have done with the family china. Now, if your will says the family china goes to this person, maybe you've avoided the conflict. So you can see that there are decisions to be made in the process that you will need to give clear instruction on, depending on who you put in charge and what you may have in your estate plan. So avoiding probate is the topic today. What is probate? And what should your goal be when you do an estate plan? And if you have more questions about your unique situation, and everyone's situation is unique and is special and is important to them, then reach out to an attorney who's going to take the time to explain to you that avoiding probate may not be your goal. What your goal may be is avoiding a messy probate, avoiding a probate where there's a lot of conflict between your family members, avoiding a probate where your choices are not very clear. This is attorney Amy Rafeka, and this is Wills on Wednesday, episode 9. Thank you for joining us. If you have questions, you can reach out to my team at 770-508-6525. We are located here in the North Atlanta area in Alpharetta, Georgia. If you have questions or would like something to be featured on Wills on Wednesday, please also reach out to us. You could either call us or you can email us at team, T-E-A-M, at Rafeka Law, that's R-E-F as in Frank, E-C-A-L-A-W.com, and look forward to talking to you again next Wednesday, Wills on Wednesday.